Earth thought it was facing a virus. But the virus was a signal, a door, not the threat. Superman burned half the planet's sky trying to stop it. Venom screamed, "That's not alive, that's a weapon." Cities collapsed without warning. And still, nothing showed up on radar. The real monster never touched the ground. Until Superman and Venom made it bleed, and it smiled. The wind didn't shift. The stars didn't blink. And yet something arrived. Beneath a rural field in Kazakhstan, local farmers discovered black veins running through the soil, pulsing, warm, and humming. Within hours, crows dropped dead mid-flight. Wireless signals vanished. 5 children vanished in the nearby village, and no one heard scream. Superman heard the silence. He flew lower than usual that morning, not because he sensed danger, but because his instincts whispered, "Something doesn't belong here." He landed beside the dead wheat. It wasn't just decay, it was reversal. Every organic thing had collapsed inward like time had moved backwards. Even the insects had unraveled, their legs curled in ancient spirals. And then the humming stopped. Superman's eyes glowed red, scanning deeper. He saw something impossible. It wasn't metal. It wasn't flesh. It was a pattern, a living frequency, encoded like DNA but resonating like a death note. Something alive but silent. Something evolving, not into an organism, but into a response. Meanwhile, Venom crouched atop a skyscraper in Tokyo. Eddie Brock had woken up that morning with blood on his pillow, not his own. Venom whispered, "It's here. The one that made me afraid." Eddie had never heard those words from the symbiote. He stared into the reflection of a nearby glass pane. The black tendrils around his neck flickered, like static. Venom snarled. Superman is already in its shadow. They leapt. In space, the Justice League watchtower detected a mass anomaly. No origin, no heat, no trajectory, just a rising absence. Batman's voice cracked through the comms. "It's deleting gravity. I've never seen anything like it." Green Lantern tried to scan it. The ring refused. Not due to weakness, but incompatibility. The construct failed to recognize the shape. "It has no surface, no density," he said. Wonder Woman stepped forward. "Then what does it have?" "A will," said Martian Manhunter. "And it's looking at Earth like a battlefield." Back on the ground, Superman reached into the soil. His fingers hit something. It felt like glass, but pulsed like a heartbeat. Then it moved. A single spike burst upward, impaling his hand. Not piercing, rewriting. The wound glowed black. His heat vision shorted out. His X-ray vision folded in on itself. A voice, no, a sensation, echoed inside his skull. Not prey, not predator, only signal. Superman backed away, blood dripping, eyes flickering red-blue-green. Whatever this thing was, it wasn't biological. It was an instruction set. And Earth was about to execute it. Venom landed seconds later. The moment his symbiote touched the soil, it screamed, loud enough to crack surrounding glass. Venom turned to Superman. "Get away from that thing. It's not a creature. It's a catalyst." Superman, still bleeding, narrowed his eyes. A catalyst for what? For evolution. Suddenly, the field stood up. Thousands of stalks of infected wheat rose, aligning like antennae. The ground shook, not from impact, but from activation. A pulse fired upward, invisible to all eyes, but heard in every mind. Breeding ground stabilized. Species incompatible. Initiating rewrite. Cities across Earth experienced blackouts. Not of power, but of memory. Entire populations forgot the last 3 minutes. Children looked up, crying. Animals ran from their homes. People began coughing and dreaming of glass pyramids under red suns. Superman shot into the sky, trailing ozone, roaring toward the clouds. Venom leapt behind him, flaring with spiked rage. But something was already waiting above. A shimmer, like the sky had been skinned open, revealed a floating structure. Not a ship, not a being, not even real in 3 dimensions. A living architecture shifting endlessly, watching, recording, Venom paused. It didn't come here to invade. Superman clenched his jaw. Then why is it here? To overwrite. And from inside that entity, something began to form. A shape, humanoid. Towering. Smooth. No face. No eyes. Only a mouth carved into glass. The being floated downward, gravity warping in its path. Buildings near Kazakhstan collapsed without a tremor. Birds aged into dust mid-flight. Clouds turned into mirrors. And then it spoke. We seeded your soil to see your reaction. Your strongest are here, but your instincts are wrong. You brought protectors. We only brought code. Superman flew first, rage in his blood. Venom followed, shrieking with ancient memory. And the sky folded closed around them. Superman smashed into the floating alien structure, only to find there was no surface. No resistance. Just cold emptiness wrapped in shifting geometry. His fists passed through it, yet each strike left scars on his skin, like truth itself was clawing back at him. Behind him, Venom launched forward, black tendrils flaring wide. The symbiote screamed in frequencies no human could hear. Not in fear, in rage. It knew this technology. It remembered this species. They weren't invaders. They were creators. Of viruses. Of bioweapons. Of symbiotes like him. The being hovered in the center of the floating architecture. Tall, translucent, humanoid but flickering. As if its reality kept shifting between dimensions. Its mouth moved without sound, but the air vibrated like an earthquake inside the brain. Your atmosphere is correct. The code has begun ingestion. Below them, half of Kazakhstan was already changing. Not on fire. Not destroyed. Modified. Buildings stretched upward in impossible shapes. Roads realigned into spirals. Human beings stood still, blinking rapidly, receiving signals they couldn't understand. Skin turned translucent. Eyes glowed white. Some began floating. Venom lashed out. 100 tendrils stabbed the entity's face. Nothing. The being turned slowly, looking at him. Not physically, but through memory. We made your kind in error. Primitive carriers. Weak adapters. Emotional parasites. Venom's form twitched violently. The symbiote began peeling off Eddie's skin, retreating in fear. It knows my core. It knows my origin. Superman moved in again. Faster than light. He circled the structure, firing heat vision in a wide arc, collapsing space like a supernova. It passed right through. Then suddenly it struck. The being raised a hand. Not fast. Not with force. But with authority. And time fractured. Superman froze in midair. Not motionless, split. Hundreds of copies of him, each in a slightly different position, rippled around the creature like shattered mirrors. He screamed, but no sound came. His body vibrated on a molecular level, unable to realign. Biological resistance is irrelevant. Kryptonian DNA is impressively elastic. It will adapt beautifully. The being turned to Venom. You are ancient software. Corrupted, redundant. Venom roared, pulling the symbiote back into full control. I am not yours anymore. Incorrect. And with a single pulse of light, Venom's body collapsed inward. The symbiote screamed as pieces of it turned crystalline, forming sharp angles across Eddie's arms and face. The black mass became white, flickering with static. He wasn't dying. He was being converted. Below them, Batman arrived in a cloaked jet over the Eurasian skyline. His sensors were useless. The air was technically breathable, but chemically mutating every minute. He activated global broadcast. To anyone listening, Kazakhstan is lost. We are witnessing a live-scale biotechnical overwrite. This is not an invasion. This is a system update. And we're the corrupted files. Wonder Woman's voice cracked in from the other side of the world. I just saw a mountain vanish. It didn't collapse. It unrendered. The Flash appeared next to Batman on the ship, panting, terrified. I ran into the air 5 miles above the structure. Time doesn't flow there. My molecules started running in different directions. Superman. He's fractured. Batman didn't blink. Then it's worse than I thought. In the alien sky, Superman pulled his pieces back together through sheer will. Pain erupted from every nerve. His heart stuttered. His breath vanished. But he focused. He condensed. He remembered his name. He slammed both fists together and roared. The alien architecture cracked, just slightly. The being turned its head. Curious. It moved now. Not like flying. Not like teleportation. It rearranged its position in the universe. Superman was suddenly below it. Then beside it. Then inside it. It whispered, "You still think this is war? It's not. It's sinking." Venom's form began to twist again. But something inside Eddie fought back harder. A pulse of rage. A memory of fire. Of betrayal. Of being abandoned by its original creators. The symbiote flared white. Not black. Not alien. A new color. "We are not yours anymore," it growled. "We are something else." Venom reformed, jagged, bladed, unstable. The creature didn't recognize this mutation. Venom stabbed both arms through the structure, into the core. The sky bled. And for the first time, the alien being twitched. Interesting. It raised its arm. Venom vanished. Just gone. No explosion. No scream. Just erased. Superman roared, slamming upward with enough force to bend Earth's magnetic field. He broke through the shimmering layer, crashing into the entity with raw power. And this time it moved. Only a few feet. But it moved. Earth began to tilt. Gravity warped in patterns. Clouds started rotating into cones. Ocean currents reversed. And deep under the Pacific Ocean, something answered back. A signal. Not human. Not Kryptonian. Not symbiote. Something older. Something sleeping. The alien turned toward the horizon. Another echo. Superman gripped its throat, if that was even its throat, and hissed, "Whatever you are, this is not your home." The being smiled for the first time. It never was. Earth was always theirs. The ocean split. Something massive rose. Not mechanical. Not flesh. Covered in ancient armor. Covered in language. Covered in warnings. It opened its eyes and spoke one word. Reset. The oceans didn't just split, they were silenced. No waves. No wind. No sound. From the depths of the Pacific, the colossal being rose, each inch of its armor engraved in glowing glyphs, pulsating with meanings older than memory. It wasn't a creature. It wasn't a god. It was a failsafe, a construct left behind by the first architects, long before humanity, long before Krypton, long before anything that bled or breathed. Superman hovered above the waterline, chest rising slowly, torn cape drifting like paper. His strength had limits, and whatever was coming, it wasn't just rewriting Earth. It was rewriting everything. The alien entity above Kazakhstan pulsed with fractured light, its geometry unraveling. Venom was gone, erased, not killed, not vaporized, just removed from the code, like a glitch patched out. And yet the arrival of this ancient Pacific construct triggered hesitation. The alien paused, turned, and regarded the new presence, not as an enemy, but as an error. Obsolete intervention. Reset protocols are restricted. The Ocean Guardian responded by shifting the tide without moving. Tectonic plates stabilized. Cities realigned. The rewrite halted temporarily. Superman stared. "What are you?" The construct didn't answer with words. It broadcasted directly into the brain, human, Kryptonian, all of it. Defense Unit, PR 0M1TH34. Mission, preserve base biosphere. Authority, PRE code, directive. Superman flew closer. "You stopped it. Can you destroy it?" The being's glyphs dimmed. "No. Only delay. You require update." Superman's brow furrowed. "Update." A surge of light engulfed him. Every atom in his body felt like it was screaming, but not in pain, in awakening. His cells spun backward in evolution, then shot forward, beyond Krypton, beyond yellow sun enhancement. Memories, not his own, surfaced. Buried instincts fired. He fell from the sky, and rose again as something more. Superman blinked. He could now see code behind reality. The rewrite wasn't attacking Earth. It was replacing the original Earth with a mirror version, molecule by molecule. Above Kazakhstan, the alien entity reacted fast. It spun itself into higher frequency. Space bent around it. It spoke again. Fail-safe must be dismantled. This biosphere is no longer optimal. Superman reappeared beside it, but this time his presence bent light. His suit had changed. Silver accents shimmered through the red and blue. His eyes now radiated language, not heat. And when he spoke, it wasn't a voice. It was a counter-signal. You're corrupting a living planet. That's not optimization. That's genocide. The alien didn't flinch. Organic resistance is irrelevant. Superman moved first. Faster than tachyons. Stronger than probability. He collided with the entity, not with strength, but with stabilization. The sky screamed. Reality shuddered. And for the first time, the alien weapon stumbled. Miles below, inside the ruins of Tokyo, something stirred. Venom's voice echoed, not aloud, but in the mind of Eddie Brock. They deleted us. But not all of us. Eddie opened his eyes. He was still alive, but changed. Not just human, not just host. Something new. Fragments of the symbiote, ones too chaotic to be overwritten, had fused with his nervous system. His veins pulsed white instead of black. His breath vibrated. He no longer wore venom. He was Venom. Superman fought in silence now. Each punch was a cascade of entropy. Each movement shattered and restored air molecules. He wasn't aiming to kill the alien entity. He was trying to contain its frequency. But it evolved too fast. It duplicated itself, tripled, became fractals in motion. Each copy attacked him from a different angle, each one broadcasting conflicting rewrite commands. Superman was caught in the middle, ripping space open with one hand, sealing fractures with the other. The Ocean Guardian, PR-0M1TH34, charged a massive pulse of light from its chest. The glyphs glowed blood red. Target locked. Synaptic warp initiated. A beam shot toward the alien core. The sky bent. The atmosphere inverted. The copies vanished instantly. The core cracked. But only for a moment. The alien pulsed and healed. Then it learned. Its form expanded, growing new limbs, new dimensions. It spoke again. We understand the failsafe. Now, we can rewrite it too. Suddenly, something shot through the alien's chest. A black and white blade of energy, pulsing, irregular, primal. Venom stood atop a crumbling broadcast tower, half his body burning with light. You forgot the glitch in your code. The alien looked down. The wound didn't bleed. It hissed. A weakness. A breach. Venom didn't wait. He leapt again, tendrils sharpened, forming spikes and hooks and broken coding glyphs. Symbiote hacking into the alien language. You made me. Now I'm your virus. He embedded into the entity's chest and detonated his form, not in explosion, but in corruption. The alien entity's light faltered. Superman and the failsafe moved together. One struck with cosmic stabilizers, the other with ancient fire. The sky cracked, and then silence. Nothing moved. Not the clouds. Not the light. Not the earth. The alien's body began to unwind, folding into itself, shrinking, vanishing into a black that flickered once, then faded. Venom collapsed. Superman caught him before he hit the ground. You're not the same. Neither are you. But it wasn't over. The sky above them darkened unnaturally. Stars blinked out. The Ocean Guardian froze, its glyphs dimming. Superman turned his gaze upward. A new shape emerged, 10 times larger than the alien entity, cloaked in negative space. No features, no symbols, no motion, only a presence. The failsafe spoke. Prime code detected. Source of breed confirmed. Venom tried to stand. That wasn't the invasion. Superman's fists clenched. That was the scout. The sky didn't turn black. It was deleted. Stars disappeared in perfect sequence, like someone was erasing them from a canvas. Above Earth, suspended beyond all instruments and senses, floated the true origin. The prime code. No form. No face. Just an outline burned into the void, pulsing with authority beyond understanding. Not a ship. Not a god. A root command. The failsafe, PR, 0M1TH34, froze. Its glyphs flickered in warning loops. It backed away, silently communicating across dead frequencies. This wasn't a foe it was programmed to fight. Superman rose slowly, gaze fixed upward. He no longer saw with eyes, he saw architecture. This new presence wasn't just powerful. It was final. It was the author of the alien rewrite. The scout hadn't been acting alone. It had been executing a fragment of a greater design. Venom gritted his teeth. His half-reformed body still pulsed with unstable code. Symbiote tendrils twitching like sparks. The corruption inside him had stabilized into something unnatural, something unpredictable. He spoke first. "We're not ready for that." Superman hovered closer. "We're not supposed to be." The prime code pulsed once. Earth shuddered. Every signal, radio, Wi-Fi, radar, shut off simultaneously. Satellites fell from orbit. Time slowed to a crawl. And then a voice. Not sound. Not telepathy. But a command layer resonance that rattled the inner core of the planet. This biosphere has exceeded its intended parameters. Mountains crumbled in the distance, collapsing inward like folded paper. Cities twisted, not from destruction, but from deactivation. Lights dimmed. Technology blinked out. Superman clenched his fists. His body was vibrating uncontrollably. Every cell tried to obey the signal, but something in him resisted. "You don't get to shut us down." The prime code pulsed again. Venom collapsed, screaming. The symbiote shrieked in white noise, flaring with corrupted symbols across his chest. His veins glowed with unreadable language. Superman flew straight at the prime code. He didn't expect to win. He just had to interrupt. But halfway there, space broke. He dropped. Hard. Slammed into the ocean. Not because he was hit, because gravity was overwritten. The prime code wasn't attacking with power. It was reprogramming physics. It issued another command. Begin total environmental cleanse. PR-0M1TH34 activated a new shield layer, encasing half the Pacific in a glowing dome. Termination block initiated. Protection window, 6 minutes. Venom crawled toward Superman, his fingers cracking like glass. "You know what that thing is, don't you?" "It's not a being," Superman said. "It's a protocol, sent to reclaim Earth if we evolve too far." And we did. Superman rose, blood dripping from his mouth. "Then we evolve again." He flew straight into the shield. Inside, everything was slowing. Inside, Earth was buffering. Superman closed his eyes, then opened them again, not as Kal-El, but as a countercode. The power of the sun wasn't enough. He reached into the rewrite itself, seizing the same frequencies that had once corrupted Venom, and twisted them backward, turning instruction into resistance. The prime code paused, then pulsed. A final time. The sky turned white. Everything disappeared. And inside that final moment, Superman roared. Light collapsed into silence. Every star, every atom, every law of motion ceased to apply. Superman stood alone, hovering in nothingness. No sky, no gravity, just the white void left behind after the prime code executed its global overwrite. Earth's shape flickered in fragments. Oceans like shattered glass. Cities like static. He was the only constant. But even his body had changed. His suit was no longer fabric. It was shifting code, aligning with the very pattern the prime code used to unravel planets. His heartbeat no longer pushed blood. It synced time. His breath no longer drew oxygen. It bent dimensions. He wasn't Kryptonian anymore. He was countercode. Across the broken plane, Venom emerged again. His new form dragged black light through white silence. He had stabilized, but not as a symbiote, not as Eddie. He was a living contradiction, a viral memory made real. "We're the last lines in Earth's backup file." "Then we better make them count," Superman replied. The prime code reappeared, no entrance, no sound, just presence. A void larger than galaxies, forming a single command. Containment failed. Initiating system purge. Superman shot forward. He didn't punch. He didn't blast. He rewrote. Every inch of contact injected resistance into the source code, logic loops, contradictions, survival paradoxes. His very existence became incompatible with the prime code's deletion sequence. It recoiled. Venom leapt into its blind spot, if it had one. He embedded tendrils encoded with ancient symbiote rage, extracted from his corrupted evolution. They carried one command. You don't control us anymore. The prime code flickered, then screamed, a frequency that cracked the structure of thought. Human minds worldwide fell unconscious. Machines melted. But deep in the Pacific, PR-0M1TH34 activated its final directive, one it had never been permitted to use. Rewrite the writer. It targeted the prime code's signal path. A beam surged from the Earth's core, formed from every stored memory, every heartbeat, every act of defiance the planet had ever known. It hit the prime code like a truth it couldn't delete. For the first time, the void twisted in pain. Superman poured everything into the rupture. You came to erase us, but we made ourselves. He split into light, millions of reflections across every timeline Earth had ever imagined. Each one screamed the same resistance. Venom howled as his form fractured again, this time willingly. He became a virus, not against Earth, but against control itself. Together, they didn't just fight the prime code. They reprogrammed it. The void shattered. The stars returned. Earth snapped back into place, wild, scarred, defiant. Superman fell from a sky, landing hard into soil that wasn't just dirt now. It was awakened. Venom reformed beside him, breathing heavy. Did we win? No, Superman said, rising slowly. We rewrote the ending. High above, fragments of the prime code scattered into cosmic dust. But one sliver remained, hovering, watching, waiting. Superman looked up. He didn't smile. Let it watch. Now it knows, Venom added. Earth fights back. They stood, side by side, not as saviors, but as the glitch that broke the system.